I'm on my way. I'm coming fast. I'm coming home to get you. I'm on my way. I'm coming fast. I'm coming home to get you. Welcome back to another An Easy Mind reaction, guys. Today we are reacting from the channel Improvement Pill. Title being How to Find Your Passion 11 Abilities. Why'd I say that so slow? 11 abilities. Which one is for you? I thought this would be an interesting video because I feel like I found my passion, what I'm passionate about. But I know a lot of times I've spoken to different individuals, different people who always ask me how I came about acquiring. I don't know if it's acquiring or stumbling upon this passion because I don't think you really acquire passions. I think the things in which you like are out there, and they already exist and they are as they are, and then you just have to try different things to figure out if you take a liking to them. And I think that's what happened. I started writing. Well, I've been writing for a long time, like since when was it? First grade. I can remember we used to do this thing after every weekend. We come back and we have to, explain our weekend, what happened during our weekend, and talk about the things we enjoyed over the weekend. And I was always, pretty good at being able to explain in great detail, from my age, what my weekend was like, and, talk about the different things. And, since there's just, I guess, grown, honed the skill or whatnot. But I didn't really start taking it seriously till like, what would I say, 10th grade, ninth, 10th grade, entering high school. I started writing more and more. And then I really, like, took it like seriously, like as a career or whatnot. When was it? After sophomore year, or no, it was junior year. After tryouts, I didn't make the team junior year, and then I had all that free time. Tryouts for basketball, I had all that time, and I just went on this writing spree, and I started posting on social media, and people started taking a liking to it, and no, that's not what happened. I started writing and I started showing friends, and they told me you should post this on social media. And so I started posting on social media, and then people outside of my uh, immediate circle took a liking to it. But anyways, yeah, I thought this would be great because a lot of people ask me a lot of times, how do I find your passion? I meet, talk to a lot of different people from across state lines, across country lines. I like to interact with people, so that's just one of the things that come into conversation. I always ask, like, so what are you doing for life, or for a living or whatnot? And they never really know. It's like, I don't know what I like. I don't know what I'm passionate about. That's just one of the many questions of life, I guess. And so why not react to a channel, to a video, and see if we can find some answers. But let's read the description. Let me bring this closer. If you are someone who wonders about how to find your passion or what career should I choose, then you've come to the right place because each one of us has natural affinity for certain things. Facts. Things that we've always had an interest in, even when we were much younger. I've compiled all 11 of these passions/abilities so that you can figure out which one is the best for you. Hopefully, this will allow you to figure out which career path to go down and also help you find your passion and purpose in life. I feel like this is going to be a great video. Let me make a 1080p. Let's get right into the video, man. Still haven't got that mouse pad, guys. I'm ashamed.
We spend most of our youth in an educational system that tests us on our ability to do well in just a handful of things. This causes many of us to grow up thinking that we lack the talent and the intellect to succeed in life, when in reality, it might be because we were simply being tested on things that we don't have an affinity for. Today, I'm going to go over the 11 abilities that exist in life. If you're someone who worries about finding their passion, watch this video till the very end because you'll gain an understanding of where your strengths lie, which will give you an idea of which direction you should go. Now, just to clarify, when I use the word ability, I'm talking about two things. These are things that you have a natural interest in, and these are things that you probably already excel at, even if it's just slightly more than the average person. It's also important to note that although natural talent exists, practice and gaining experience equates to at least half of the mastery for any of these abilities. This means that with enough effort and hard work, you can still become pretty good at any of the 11. With that being said, let's jump right into it.
Here's one thing you need to do
Oh,
before you start your holiday shopping. Don't spend the
yo,
night
how do you guys
on
get rid of
Amazon until
ads?
you watch
What
this
is
first.
this?
Starting
What
off,
was
we
that?
have musical ability. People who score high in this
Mm.
category enjoy listening to music, may learn better by listening, and have a sharp sense for what sounds pleasant to the ear. This means that they have a knack for rhythm, tones, melody, and can often memorize and replicate pieces of music.
My fault. I'm take it back, but I think what I want you guys to do as well is take note of how many abilities or the different abilities in which you do take a liking to. I was I was resonating with the this first ability, this music ability, because me personally, like I said, I don't know if you guys have paid attention, but I talk about a lot of times how I have a another channel, Houston Z's music, but yeah, no, I write songs too, and I write songs for other people, and that kind of goes under writing though, but it still go. I've made songs as well and put them out, so I'm not sure my music, um, I guess, ability is as strong as my writing in general, but my writing helps to supplement an aspect of music creation, I guess, the writing aspect. But let's take it back.
Wit. Starting off, we have musical ability. People who score high in this category enjoy listening to music, may learn better by listening, and have a sharp sense for what sounds pleasant to the ear. This means that they have a knack for rhythm, tones, melody, and can often memorize and replicate pieces of music quickly. If you have a strong affinity for music, then it probably means that you are good at playing musical instruments, singing, or even composing music. And although this is often a skill set that society dismisses as just a hobby, there are many career paths for people who excel in this ability. This includes becoming a music related content creator, working on audio for films and video, composing and writing music, and
Mm,
working on sound design in general.
that's my type of job.
Next up, we have natural ability. People who score high in this category usually enjoy spending time in nature, love plants and animals, and they understand how the different compounds and elements in the world interact with each other. This means that they have a knack for survival skills, they can identify individual plants and species, understand how animals behave, and they know how everything in nature is connected. Possible career paths for someone who scores high in natural ability include cooking, farming, working with animals, working with medicine, and even working in health, because everything related to our body is technically part of nature. And they can also work in any field related to the environment. The next category on our list is movement ability. People who score high in this ability enjoy moving their bodies, whether it's large explosive movements or even the tiniest and most fine tuned of movements. They have the powerful ability to control individual muscles in their body, allowing
Mm,
them to do amazing things that are often deemed impossible for the average person. The great thing about this category is that it's heavily tied to practice. Repeating a movement literally strengthens your neurons'
right.
ability to fire in that way, which allows you to repeat that move faster and more accurately over time. Possible career paths for someone who enjoys and excels at movement are the sports, dance, fine craftsmanship.
See, I feel like I had a knack for this to an extent, but I think I was hindered genetically or genetically hindered. Because I was playing basketball, but 5'8" isn't the best height for basketball. I was obviously by default forced to play the point guard position, and there was this I probably just like I think I explained it in a couple reactions ago, but just problem I had with confidence. I was actually talking about it on a podcast that I recorded with a couple of friends a while back, where we were talking about my days in high school, and he even said it himself. For some reason, he said I was great when it came to like pickup, when it came to like there's no officiating, and I felt free. I had felt like, but when it came to, before I get into explaining that, but when it came to like uh, um officiated basketball, like organized basketball, I guess crumbled. I couldn't perform as well, and I think what I was gonna get into is my it's not disdain, but just like my inability to work under authority. You know, I'm not like a troublemaker. I'm not someone who defies authority, but I just work much better and I produce much more when I'm given complete control and complete freedom. You know, it's not so I can like step out of line and cause mayhem or chaos, but I just feel as if when there's no one judging me and what I do, I can do the most and prove the most and produce the most. But yeah, that's just, I guess, me, my personality. Oh, I guess this is the most replayed. People relate to this, don't they?
over time. Possible career paths for someone who enjoys and excels at movement are the sports, dance, fine craftsmanship, personal training, and even martial arts. Next up, we have interpersonal ability. People who have an affinity for this have a deep understanding of the relationships between people. They can quickly
Facts.
read someone's body language and get an idea of how they are feeling, and they are usually good at holding conversations. They understand human nature and how people interact with each other. Possible career
Oh,
paths for someone who has a knack for this ability include sales, creating social content like interviews and talk shows, event planning, relationship counseling, and even working in law enforcement.
okay. So this is also another thing that I relate to, but the whole idea with social content creation. Um, like I take a liking to that extent. I love reaching out to people and getting to know people, and because I feel like learning more about other people helps me learn more about myself. I can figure out what I relate to, what I don't relate to, and I'm able to explore and branch out into different cultures, traditions, and all of that. But the problem with that, I feel like, is that me personally, there's this proclivity that I have where I guess my social battery, I guess is what you wish to describe it, kind of dies down. And I guess essentially I enjoy my time alone. And I kind of, it's hard sometimes to balance that. I even posted it on my Instagram, my personal Instagram yesterday. A lot of other people who do look to create social content related to as well, because there's this thing about social media. I don't know, you're on it so much and for so long, you're promoting, building this platform, and it kind of gets tiresome. I don't know if I can't say people in general, but I know me personally, I don't think I'm fit or built to be on social media for such prolonged period of times, and I find myself needing to take a break from it, taking a hiatus of some sort to kind of reorganize myself and regain composure and then come back. And that's what I did. It was like 3 months ago. I explained it on the shower therapy and also on another reaction. I had to take a break. I just had to. But yeah, no. What's it called? It's called interpersonal. I'm trying to keep track of all the abilities they've listed because I want to go over the ones in which I related to at the end. I might just have to view chapter. You can view. No, never mind. Anyways, let me take it back.
Like interviews and talk shows, event planning, relationship counseling, and even working in law enforcement because they need to be able to read people.
Imagine what would happen if every person in the United
Oh my
States suddenly
gosh.
visited your website. Would it
No.
crash? Not if
Similar to even working in law enforcement because they need to be able to read people. Similar to interpersonal ability is our next category, which is called intrapersonal ability. People who have an affinity for this have a deep understanding of themselves. They know how to look in the mirror to spot what needs work, allowing them to reflect and adjust. This is an
Hmm.
extremely powerful ability that is crucial for self improvement because the only way you can improve is if you can identify what you need to work on in the first place. Now, there aren't too many occupations that focus mainly on intrapersonal ability. It's something that helps you work on yourself, but professions like therapists, self improvement coaches, and motivational speakers fall
Okay.
under this category to some degree.
Okay. Yeah.
Up next, we have logical ability. People who fall under this category can reason well. They may have some interest in math and the sciences, but most importantly,
I
they
should
are
write this
interested
down.
in the truth. They act on reason more than emotion, often feeling like the correct answer is more important than what's morally right. People who score high in this category are excellent at solving technical problems and can usually predict whether or not something will work with reasonably high accuracy. These people usually make great investors, scientists, inventors, entrepreneurs.
I'll do it
This
after
is
here.
actually one of the few strengths that will increase your chances of success regardless of what career path you go down, because it allows you to differentiate from right and wrong. Now that we're halfway through the list, I'd like to take a second and quickly tell you about how you can figure out which one of these abilities you should focus on. See, there are certain things that we grow up liking, certain things that we naturally gravitated towards when we were kids and still
is
do
an
to some
ad.
degree. In order to see where your passions
All
genuinely
these
lie,
videos.
you have to expose yourself to a wide range of things to see what catches your attention.
Right.
Which is why this episode was brought to you
my
to help the guys catch
gosh.
curiosity. Thousands of streamable documents, food, travel, and much particular direction of where your abilities may lie. For just $4.99 per
get
month,
you. I
$1
get
per
you
month.
so
Check it out
much.
if you want to find your have linguistics and if you want to help support the channel. Now back to the topic at hand. Next up, we have linguistic ability. People who excel in this category have a deep understanding of their language and the emotions that come with certain words. They are often articulate and they usually have a vast vocabulary. They typically enjoy reading and listening to great speakers. But most importantly, they know how to craft messages in an engaging way, making them more influential than the average person. People who have a knack for linguistic abilities can become writers,
This
speakers,
is my-
poets, copywriters, or even translators.
It's
Up
my
next
area.
is digital ability.
No, sir.
This is one of the newer abilities on this list
Not at
because
all.
the digital world has only really risen in popularity in the last decade or so. Most people who fall under this category are the younger generations, as they've grown up with the digital world being a huge part of their life. They have a deep understanding of how the digital world works. Social media, SEO, marketing, memes, going viral.
Dude, like, I feel like I have a knack to an extent, but I'm still struggling. I wouldn't say struggling. I'm still trying to figure out how the whole, SEO and marketing and all that kind of works in hand. I look into tips and, I watch different videos, and because I'm always trying to improve an aspect of myself or an aspect of my work and trying to branch out. But for me personally, this is a hard thing to get down. I've worked some with SEO. I look into different ways to market. That goes for, my poetry, my writing, as well for the music. And, I don't know if I really want to go viral as opposed to, gradually building a platform, because I feel like going viral kind of forces the individual to stick to the content or the type of content that made them blow up. And I want to be able to gradually grow. I want to be able to gradually blow up, because I feel like as you gradually grow, people are getting a more well-rounded view of you, because it's not like one video took off and they're like, oh my gosh, this is what this person is about. But if you're gradually growing, that means people are checking you out here and there and getting a look at you from all different angles. So, but yeah, no, that's something that's been hard to get down for me. But I've been consistent since like 2000, when I start doing this stuff, 2020, right after high school. I feel like I really, hammered down on this stuff. So it's been 2 years, about to be, well, 2.5, because it wasn't until I graduated, which was June of 2020. So 2.5 years right now, about to go. If given another 6 months, it'll be 3 years. But yeah, we hear stories about this all the time. You just gotta keep pushing and keep being consistent. I don't have any worries. I'm not rushing to do anything, to go anywhere. This is life.
Viral are all things that fall under this category, which is why occupations related to this ability are endless. Quite frankly, anything that can be done online requires some degree of digital ability, and the
I
demand
guess.
for people with these skills is only going to increase year after year as more and more business is conducted online. If you'd like to learn more about my experience with the digital world, you can check out a fun video about my journey, which I'll include in the description box below. Up next, we have visual ability. People who score high in this category have a deep appreciation for the aesthetics. This means they can spot what looks pleasant to the eye. They can tell which color combinations and what shapes look good.
See, I'm
They
not.
can
I'm
also
not. I'm not
visualize
too
and
good at
imagine
this.
complex images in their head, often allowing them to recreate these images on paper. Possible career paths include architects, illustrators, animators, fashion designers, and graphic designers for all sorts of things. Next on our list is teaching
Sorry, y'all. Let me take it back.
images on paper. Possible career paths include architects, illustrators, animators, fashion designers, and graphic designers for all sorts of things. Next on our list is teaching ability. People who score high in this category can take complicated subjects and deliver them in such a clear way that even young kids can understand. They can spot what someone is doing right or wrong for the field that they specialize in, and most importantly, they gain a deep sense of satisfaction from seeing their students grow. Possible career paths for those that fall under this category are teaching, consulting, creating educational content, and even parenting. And finally, we have spiritual ability, which is a very unique category as it's something that almost everyone gains interest in as they age, because it's the ability to think about the bigger questions in life, like what happens after we die? What's the meaning of life? Is there God? Things like that. People who are fascinated by this category can become philosophers, pastors, monks, or might just spend a lot of time thinking about these things. There aren't that many occupations that require a specialty in this ability. Now, most people have an affinity for more than one of these 11 abilities, but you must figure out which one interests you the most, and then try to think about what career paths make use of those abilities. This will allow you to make a good living while doing something that you're actually interested in, which will make your work life more fun and enjoyable. Let me know in the comments down below which 3 of the 11 resonate with you the most. I'm really curious to hear what you think your passions might be.
We got to figure that out right now. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's linguistic, spiritual, and what is it? Linguistic, spiritual, and which one was this? Oh, see, I'll probably say intrapersonal, because I didn't I was gonna say interpersonal, but like I said, about that social battery and it dying out, whatnot. I was like, you know what? People do sometimes refer to me as a loner, if you will. But yeah, so I would say linguistic. In which order though? Ooh, linguistic would be number 1. I feel like interpersonal and spiritual kind of co-align with one another. But yeah, that's logical too. And logical, which one? No, that's the at. Jeez. Yeah, that's linguistic. Definitely not digital. Not visual. So yeah. I feel like if you're watching this, you probably relate to a good number of these as well. And so, like, I feel like it's not likely that, one individual only relates to one of these abilities. But yeah, do leave a comment and let me know as well which abilities you related to and which one you took a liking to. Did you find your passion as you were watching this video? But yeah, no, great video all in all. So leave a like, make sure to turn on post notifications, and hit the subscribe button. But if you're not going to do any of that, at the very least, please do leave a comment. I was tripping. Mind fart. Leave a comment. I would love to have a conversation with you guys. Peace. That's not what I say. I say good day. Why am I saying peace? Good day.